Welcome back, dear friends, to our 8th episode of Crimson Academy Junior!
That's right, dear friends. We are on our 8th episode of Crimson Academy Junior. And before we get into this episode, we'll start off with a prayer.
Oh my God, unite the hearts of thy servants, and you reveal to them thy great purpose. Need they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, and their endeavors, and bring the strength to serve thee, O God. Leave them not to themselves, but guide the steps by the light of thy knowledge, and shield their hearts by thy law. Verily thou art the helper and the Lord, behold thou.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, dear friends. So, now it is time for our virtue of the week. Ella, do you remember what our virtue of the week was for last week?
Love.
Love, that's right. Excellent. And that's right, dear friends. We were in New York in our previous episode, and it was also Valentine's Day weekend, and so we had our virtue of the week was on love. So we hope all of our dear friends are practicing love in the sense of giving love to everyone that comes across their path, to their families, to their communities, right? To their children. So that was our virtue of the week for last week. And so, Ella, the virtue of the week for this week is generosity. Ella, do you know what generosity means?
Yes.
You do? Excellent. What does generosity mean?
It means giving with sacrifice.
Giving with sacrifice. I love it. High fives. Very nice. Generosity. So it's giving with sacrifice, with love. So this is generosity. So let's explore some aspects of generosity some more. Okay? So this is from His Holiness Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah says, to give and to be generous are attributes of mine. I mean, these are qualities of being a Baha'i. It means to give and to be generous are attributes of mine. Then Baha'u'llah says, he says, well is it with him that adorneth himself with my virtues.
Why is it saying well is it? Because that doesn't make any sense.
Well is it with him means it's good for the person. Well is it with him that adorneth. Adorneth means you clothe yourself. So just like you put clothes on your body and you look beautiful. Baha'u'llah is saying, clothe yourself in virtues. So, you have, say, a shirt of love. You have pants of courage. You have, a bow, of, perseverance. These are virtues that we've already talked about. And you might have a tie of generosity. You see what I'm saying?
And you might have a skirt of
kindness. Right? Or service, and these are virtues. So he says, adorn yourself in these virtues, right? And then Baha'u'llah goes on. This is such an incredible virtue, dear friends, is generosity, giving of yourselves. So Baha'u'llah says, he says, just as a candle's purpose is to provide light, the human soul was created to give generously. We fulfill our highest purpose in a life of service. Do you remember, Ella, we talked about service when we were at Bosch? We talked the importance of service, in which we offer our time, our energy, our knowledge, and financial resources. So this is so wonderful, dear friends, that we're not just talking about our financial resources being generous. How important is that in our lives to offer our financial resources? The Baha'i funds, the funds of these great organizations, social and economic, need financial resources. But it's not just our financial resources, it's our time, dear friends. It's our mental faculties, our knowledge that we are contributing. This is, and as well as our energies to make these activities of our communities, such as if you could be generous with your time and energies and our knowledge to further along a children's class, for example, or further along a junior youth group, or help facilitate activities of a cluster. These are giving of yourself. And this is what is needed. This is a virtue of generosity. His Holiness Abdul Baha, the son of the founder of the Baha'i faith, Abdul Baha, he wrote, "The honor and distinction of the individual consist in this, that he among all the world's multitudes should become a source of social good." So, Ella, you were talking about, Daddy, I want to help people. I want to, give money to people and help people, right? As Baha'is, we should be of social good. We should help everyone that comes across our path, whether it's in our kindness, in our friendship, in service, and this is the example of who Abdul Baha was, right? We should strive to serve humanity in any way and every way possible. We should serve others for the love of God. We are neither motivated by the hope of recognition or, interestingly, the fear of punishment, So we're not doing it for, going to heaven or the fear of hell, as they say, It is our love of God. This is pure, what we do it for, okay? A life of service. This is what should distinguish us, Ella. Serving our whole life. Loving humanity. This is who Abdul Baha was, right, Ella? Okay? And lastly, I will share just maybe one more little quote. And this is just an extract from this longer quote. It says, "Be generous in prosperity." This is from Baha'u'llah, dear friends. He says, "Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. Be worthy of the trust of thy neighbor and look upon him with a bright and friendly face. Be a treasure to the poor, an admonisher to the rich, an answer to the cry of the needy, a preserver of the sanctity of thy pledge. Be fair in thy judgment and guarded in thy speech. Be unjust to no man, and show all meekness to all men. Be as a lamp unto them that walk in darkness, a joy to the sorrowful, a sea for the thirsty, a haven for the distressed, an upholder and defender of the victim of oppression. Let integrity and uprightness distinguish all thine acts. Be a home to the stranger, a balm to the suffering, a tower of strength. A tower of strength for the fugitive. Be eyes to the blind, a guiding light unto the feet of the erring. Be an ornament to the countenance of truth, a crown to the brow of fidelity, a pillar of the temple of righteousness, a breath of life to the body of mankind, an ensign of the hosts of justice, a luminary above the horizon of virtue, a dew to the soil of the human heart, an ark on the ocean of knowledge, a sun in the heaven of bounty, a gem on the diadem of wisdom, a shining light in the firmament of thy generation, a fruit upon the tree of humility. Baha'u'llah. Dear friends, this is the standard that Baha'u'llah is calling us to be generous, to be kind, to be loving, to be of service to all humanity, right, Ella? Ella, do you have an example of generosity that you would like to share with us?
So, for example, if like somebody that's poor and is hungry, and you have some food that you haven't touched, then you can give it to them.
That's very good, right? So, if you come across someone that is hungry, this is the example of our beloved Master Abdul Baha. If you see someone that is hungry, do not, turn away from them. Go give them food. If there's so many wonderful organizations, non-profit organizations, that contribute more close to 100%, if not 100% of their resources to helping humanity. And as always, the Baha'i funds, social, economic, and development projects around the world. These are organizations that further help humanity, and this is something, dear friends, generosity of our resources. The houses of worship around the world are not just places of worship. In the future, they will have ancillary components to each one of them, and as we know, each one of these will be in a city all around the world. So each one of them will be in our cities, and they will have a place for the elderly. They will have a place for the orphans. They will have a place for a school for children. And these are all need financial resources. But dear friends, as you know, it's not just generosity is with our financial resources. It's our time, our knowledge, and our sacrifice of our own being in the aspect of generosity. Our communities need you to be generous with your time, so that you can contribute to make a vibrant community life. So, dear friends, here at Crimson Academy Junior, we urge each one of you to continue practicing all the virtues that we've talked about. And in our 8th episode, we're calling upon you to strive to also practice this virtue, generosity, in the aspect of also your financial resources, as well as also in your own review of your time. Are you contributing more and more of your life and your energies towards the cause? How can you be more of a service in the aspects of your community life and enrich them? And here, this is a very important part, also because we're here at Crimson Academy Junior. As I was thinking about all the different functions that we have in Baha'i community life. And how can you, whether it's members of your assemblies or organizations, how can you involve the younger generations in the aspect of consultation so that they become enriched, even at the aspect of feasts, the 19-day feast? Are you just sending your children off to another room or putting them, aside? Oh, they're not mature enough for consultation. You can see, how old are you, Ella?
5.
She's 5, okay? She's 5 years old. Are you involving them in your aspects of consultation? planning for different events, you know. Now think about it, dear friends. What a wonderful and an enriched community life we would have if we are involving them in all aspects, from the youngest of children to, you know, our junior youth, to our youth, and involving them in the sense of our planning of events. We know that a Yamiha is coming up. Are you involving them in the sense of planning for a Yamiha? And then what is after a Yamiha? It's the Baha'i fast. And are you involving them even in your planning for, you know, fasts events? You know, such as you can plan, you know, morning prayers and breaking fast together. And then you can even have, are you planning events for Nowruz? Are you involving your children, your youth, your junior youth? And not just saying, okay, youth do your own thing, adults do your own thing, but as a community, coalescing together, doing things together. And so it's not just that youth are doing this, junior youth are doing this, but how as a community are we doing things vibrantly together? That was my thought to throw out to you as a something to think about in your own communities, right? Excellent, dear friends. So proud of each one of you. High fives, my baby. I love it. So, that was our virtue of the week. And so each one of you want to think about generosity. Because generosity also is how I'm involving everyone to be generous and loving. Okay? So that is our virtue of the week that we urge you as Crimson Academy Junior to encourage each one of you to think about this virtue. Now we're moving on to our topic of the week. And our topic of the week is the Baha'i calendar. Okay? The Baha'i calendar. Now, this is such an incredible thing. In every age and every dispensation, okay, whenever a new faith comes, okay, it brings with it along a new calendar. Okay? And since the earliest beginnings of human history, the measurement of time has been fundamental to the organization of societies. Okay? Mm-hmm. The adoption of a new calendar in each religious era. In Islam, with Muhammad, they have their own calendar. In the Christian calendar, which is called the Gregorian calendar, this is the calendar that is pretty standard around the whole world, and today is, let's see what the date is today. Today is February 22nd, 2020, okay? On the Gregorian calendar. This is, okay? So this is the Gregorian calendar, okay? And this is calendar 2020 means 2020 years after the passing of Christ. Okay?
Okay.
AD. Anno Domini. Okay? So, now, this is, I just want to share this also with you. The Baha'i faith has its own calendar. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. Right? It's called the Baha'i calendar. You know what Baha'i means?
No.
Baha'i means wonderful. It means new, unique. Okay? So it's called the Baha'i calendar. Okay? This is the Baha'i calendar, which was standardized and adopted globally. Okay? So the whole Baha'i world at the same time also has the same events all around the Baha'i world. Now this is something really, really awesome and beautiful about the Baha'i calendar. All the Baha'i months, and there's 19 months in the Baha'i calendar. Okay? How many months?
19.
19! That's right! So there's 19 Baha'i months, okay? And each of these months has 19 days. Okay? Okay, and this is a solar calendar, okay? So that means, and so these 19 months of 19 days. So 19 times 19, you haven't learned the multiplication yet, Okay?
No.
So 19 times 19 is 361 days. In a solar year, there's 365 days in a year. Okay? And there's 4 days left over, and in a leap year, there are 5 days left over. Okay? 4 or 5. And a leap year is every 4 years, so every 4th year, there will be 5 days left over in the Baha'i calendar, in the solar calendar. And so these are days called, what is coming up?
Ayamiha.
Ayamiha! That's right! So these 4 or 5 days, depending if it's a leap year, are Ayamiha. And Ayamiha are the days of Ha. And this is coming up, okay? Because we're at the end, and the Ayamiha is almost at the end of the Baha'i calendar, okay? And so the last Baha'i month is Allah, and Allah is loftiness, okay? And so each one of these Baha'i months, I will tell you what they are and and they all represent virtues or attributes of God, okay? And so Baha is Baha is means splendor. Jalal means glory. Jamal is beauty. Azamat is grandeur. Nur means light. Rahmat means mercy. Kalimat means words. Kamal, perfection. Asma, names. Izat, might. Mashiat, will. Ilm means knowledge. Qudrat means power. Qul, speech. Masayel, questions. Sharaf, honor. Sultan, sovereignty. Mulk, dominion. And lastly, Allah means loftiness. So these are the Baha'i months, 19 in all, and each one of them having 19 days. Okay? And the last Baha'i month, which is Allah, this is after the 4 or 5 days of Yamiha, we enter a period which is the month of Allah, 19 days, and during that 19 days are also our month of fasting, which is an incredible and wonderful time for all Baha'i community. And as Baha'is, we start fasting from the age of 15. And this is a period of the individual from sunrise to sunset to abstain from food or drink from sunrise to sunset. And it's really not to make the individual per se suffer or on any level. It's really to help the individual align themselves, focus ourselves on the truths of the faith, to focus on the writings, to focus on our love, our Creator, His Holiness Baha'u'llah. And there's a beautiful talk by Abdul Baha on the wisdom of fasting. And as we approach the month of fasting, I will share that talk with you, okay? And you can easily find this online. If you look up Wisdom of Fasting, Abdul Baha, you can find this talk. And there's, I believe, 4 components of the wisdom of fasting. One of them is, I can share with you, is as Baha'is, a perfect exemplar is Abdul Baha. And as well as we strive to mirror forth the example of the lives of these supreme divine lights, the manifestations of God. How did they live? We look to their example, right? How did Abdul-Baha live? How did the manifestations of God live, in the sense of what did they do? And each one of these divine lights, even His Holiness going back, each one of them, from His Holiness Jesus Christ, Muhammad, all of them fasted. His Holiness Buddha, all of them fasted. It is a way of self-purification, in the sense of working on the individual to try to control, tame, and work on in the aspect of this eradication of the self, and really have control over our animal nature. So fasting, this is just one tiny component of it, Ella, is to follow in the example of our these divine lights, His Holiness Abdul-Baha, the examples of these manifestations. Okay, so the Baha'i calendar, as I mentioned, has got 19 days, and these 19 days each are in 19 months. So coming to 361 days, and then these 4 extra days are called
Ayamiha.
Ayamiha, that's right. During the Baha'i, during the year, there's also other celebrations. And some of these celebrations are Rezvan. And Rezvan is a period of 12 days. And Rezvan is also coming up, and it's in April.
And Nowruz.
Another one is Nowruz, that's coming up too. And so Rezvan is the period when His Holiness Baha'u'llah declared He is the manifestation of God for this age. So this is the most great celebration. So Rezvan is when Baha'u'llah declared Himself, I am the one that all ages have foretold. All the manifestations of God prior have foretold that I am the one that have come. Okay? So this is a period of Rezvan. And there are 3 holy days in Rezvan. The first day of Rezvan, the 9th day, and the 12th day. Okay? Then there is also, as Ella very correctly said, Nowruz is a holy day. And Nowruz is the Baha'i New Year. And that's coming up, very exciting. Okay? And so another one, Ella, you were actually born during Rezvan. And so that's why I named her middle name Rose. Because during when Baha'u'llah was in the Rezvan garden, they would come and bring lots and lots of roses and place them in front of Baha'u'llah's tent. And so, because my little one here was born during the great celebration of Rezvan, her middle name is Rose. Ella Rose Bayat. So, that's, and so then, what else? So we have Rezvan, we have Nowruz, then we also have all the wonderful birthdays. We have the birthday of His Holiness the Bab, and the birthday of Baha'u'llah. And these 2 birthdays are called twin holy days. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes?
Why don't we celebrate Abdul-Baha's birthday?
Great question. Great question. Why don't we celebrate Abdul-Baha's birthday? Abdul-Baha was born, okay, at the same time as when the faith started, okay? So, yeah. So this was very interesting.
So if he was still alive, he'll be the same age that the Baha'i faith is?
If he was still alive, that's right. So he was born May 23rd, 1844, and so out of his love, absolute love for the Bab, he and also his pure amazing, amazing, amazing sense of humility. He has, there is no per se birthday of Abdul Baha celebration. It's the declaration of the Bab, but there is a day, a holy day called the Day of the Covenant. Okay, and that is a day where all Baha'is also say prayers, and the focus is also on Abdul Baha. Okay, so excellent, very good question. So there's also the passing of the ascension of Abdul Baha. So when he passed, and there's also the passing of His Holiness Baha'u'llah, the ascension of Baha'u'llah. So that's another. Those are two other holy days. Okay, and also the martyrdom of the Bab. Okay, so these are other holy days that are in the Baha'i calendar. Okay, and we'll get into these more and more in detail as we go through other Crimson Academy Junior episodes. But excellent, dear friends. So we are at that point in our episode where we have it's a very special section of our episode. It's called
Ask Ella.
Ask Ella. So a Baha'i child from Los Angeles wrote to us, and his name is Nabil. And as you all know, Ayamiha is coming up, and in his question was, let me read it. Okay, let me open it. Okay, he wrote, Dear Ella, thank you for doing Crimson Academy Junior. Really enjoying it. And for Ask Ella, my question is, what do you do as a family for Ayamiha? What do you do as a family for Ayamiha? Okay? So that's from Nabil from Los Angeles. Okay? So Ella, you have the floor. What do we do as a family for Ayamiha?
So you open a present each day, make treats, and like say prayers, decorate our house, and service, and we serve people, and
What else?
I do a Yamiha train.
Okay, excellent. So thank you very much, Nabil, for your question. Okay, as Ella said, we every day. This is our family right here, right? So what we do, every family is different. There's no traditions or customs or this is what you have to do, or this is just very personal because Nabil was asking us what do we do, and we encourage everyone to come up with what do you do and share that, because it's so wonderful. I mean, to create and think about it early on and have fun with your family, but it's really about service, about charity. It's about and giving of presents to your family, to your friends, to your neighbors, to creating a sense of love and kindness and to everyone that you come across. As a family, this is a time that we, as Ella correctly said, we decorate our house. This is one of the only times that we decorate our house is from the time of Ayamiha through all the way through Rizwan. So our house is really nicely decorated. So from almost the end of February, which is Ayamiha, so then there's Nowruz, and then going all the way into April to early May, which is Rizwan. Our house is wonderfully decorated for these great celebrations. And so that's what we do as a family. Another thing that we do is each day of Ayamiha, we have presents, right? And And then as a family, we say prayers together, and before we're giving out the presents, we did just for fun of it. I mean, I have little ones, so we do what's in our families called a Yamiha train, you know. So we all dance, and it's just for the fun of it, to enjoy. Is with the Yamiha train, you go a Yamiha, and we all dance and have fun. I mean, this is our, you know, as the beloved guardian says, you know, that our absolute love for His Holiness Christ and Christmas and these were for the dispensation of His Holiness Christ, and in this dispensation is per se our Christmas, is a Yamiha. And this, so in the sense of all the wonderful, wonderful aspects of Christmas, the aspects of families coming together, the sense of generosity and love, and bringing that spirit to everyone, make it that, dear friends. So bring that sense of happiness and joy and to your children, so that they feel it, right? So I'm trying to, you know, in my sense of my little family, to do that and bring that to my children. And I would urge you, and we urge you here at Crimson Academy Junior, be creative. You know, think of even arts and craft projects. Go look them up. There's so many wonderful ones online, and so that you can bring those to your children and to your communities. If you don't have children, share those, you know, with the children in your community, so that they have them, and talk about them in your, so that it brings that level of enrichment, you know. And to further your question, Nabil, what else do? We do service projects, you know, as a family. And so one year we went and brought pizza to the firemen as a thank you, you know, for the service they're rendering in our community. Another year we did it. We brought you snacks, the ready-made snacks and treats to the police, because you know they have to be rushing off, and same as the firemen, they have to be rushing off, and you know this was, you know, from the Baha'i community. And so just offering service, and service projects could be of all kinds. And as I mentioned earlier in our section on virtue on generosity, is consult, dear friends, consult with your young ones, you know, in all matters, you know. So don't always plan everything as adults. Involve them in your consultations, in your task forces, in your committees, so that it will enrich the pool of ideas, and involve them in your feasts. As I said, don't, you know, always let them scurry off to another room and play around, because these kids eventually will be the future of our Baha'i communities. So by involving them, getting them to be able to sit appropriately in a Baha'i meeting, to be able to, you know, participate in the consultations, sharing their ideas, you know, how wonderful is that? So as Baha'i parents, as parents of this next generation of children, of youth, of junior youth, train them so that they can sit in meetings and be able to participate in all aspects of community life, right? So, excellent, very, very good. And lastly, what else do we do for a Yamiha? We do service, we say our prayers together. So this is on the family level, and also on the community level, we usually have community celebrations for a Yamiha. But at the family level, we do prayers, we have lots of fun and presents and service projects. So that's what we do. And but it's a wonderful, wonderful time, and I urge each one of you to be creative, have wonderful celebrations, but plan them ahead, so you know you can every year make them more and more fun. And And what's your favorite thing that we do for a Yamiha, Ella?
The Yamiha train.
The Yamiha train. So this was totally spontaneous, and I was thinking, as Ella said, the Yamiha train. So this was totally spontaneous last year, and we had presents, and as gift giving and charity is one of the hallmarks of a Yamiha, and giving gifts to my children and to others is what I love to do and so. But I also wanted it to be fun and enjoyable and memorable. So that's one of the things that I did was the Yamiha train. So as we're doing it, we're all chanting Yamiha, right? And so because this is something that was just spontaneous and fun. Anyway, thank you very much, Nabil, for your question. And this was our little section. I talked a lot. Apologize on that section, but this is our section on Ask Ella, right? So, dear friends, continue asking questions. Next week on our episode, we will be in Alabama. Crimson Academy Junior, our little family will be visiting my family in Alabama, and we will be having a special episode in Alabama, and we will be talking and visiting with my family there, and they will be joining us on our future episode. We actually might have a double feature episode, so we might have 2 episodes that we'll be showing off from Alabama. And we might have a special guest interview. So, signing off from here at Crimson Academy Junior. Very, very proud of every one of you guys. Keep practicing your virtues. We've covered courage, we've covered perseverance, love, kindness. We've talked about what else, Ella?
We talked about what do we do for a Yamiha?
We talked about what we do for a Yamiha. Be creative, you guys, and share your ideas in different forums. What do you do for these great celebrations? And don't forget, very important, dear friends, involve the young ones in your planning. Involve them in the sense also of having them in the sense of feast, and not just say, okay, little ones, say prayers, and then as they said, they scamper off to their areas. So have them there because they will be the future administrators, the future teachers, the future, of our cause. So having them there creates a level of love, it creates understanding of, and also they will be part of our community life. Okay? Very, very, very proud of each one of you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and practice generosity. Okay? From all of us at Crimson Academy Junior, signing off. Ella, so proud of you. High fives. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.